This is TNN Outdoors.
Al, Ron, and Jim Linder present the In-Fisherman, the most authoritative multi-species angling network in the world. From explosive topwater bassin to exciting forays for monster walleyes.
Size of that thing. Oh man, run at the boat, take your aim. There she goes.
From catfish in America's mighty rivers to sunfish in pits and ponds.
Oh, big one.
The In-Fisherman shows you how and where riding the cutting edge of angling. Welcome to the world of the In-Fisherman.
There she is. There, I got her.
Wow, this fish is taking my bait.
Oh. There he is. Look out. There you go. Right on Cuda. Oh, got him. I got him. Yeah, they're gonna bite today. Talk about exciting topwater action is real heart-stopping. Hello, everybody, and welcome to In-Fisherman Television. I'm Dan Sura. Throughout the course of the season, topwater is one of your most effective presentations for all species of fish. We're talking largemouth, smallmouth, stripers, muskies, and many others as well. And today, the In-Fisherman staff is going to examine the art of fishing on top.
On today's show, James Linder and Steve Quinn are chugging up midsummer smallmouth bass. And Dan Sura, along with Dan Craven, will share some explosive topwater action for muskies. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
It has the most powerful gas and diesel engines of any full-size pickup. It has the most available payload and towing. It has the roomiest cab of all, and better resale value than Ford, Chevy, or GMC. It's the truck that wrote a whole new rule book, now available in a leather-bound edition. Dodge Ram. The rules have changed.
No boys and very few men could have caught that fish.
We took a photograph of that fish, and the picture weighed 7 pounds.
Hey, I got a money-back guarantee on the new outboard.
What's that, son?
What? It's just if I don't like my new Mariner for any reason in 60 days, I can take it back.
That's a good one.
Mariner makes the world's best outboard motors.
I got it in writing.
And it ain't bragging, because we can back it up.
This feature segment is brought to you by the new In-Fisherman Bass Guide, the world's foremost authority on bass. Let's join Jim Linder and Steve Quinn with strategies and insight on one of the oldest topwater lures, the chugger.
Did you see that? It was odd the way that she came up and looked at it. It took a long time to get the fish to come back to the bait, though. You know what I mean? I had to let it sit there a long time. She came up and boiled on it the first time. That's it. Understanding the attitude of the fish, you know, and how to trigger the fish into the biting is a real big part of fishing these baits. Look at that guy, he's got a little mark on his back. Fat little guy.
Now this is a perfect morning for fishing popper type baits. It's calm out, the wind's virtually zero. Compared to other topwater baits, you know, they work best in the very calm conditions. Some others, like a buzz bait or even a Zara spook, will pull fish up better if you've got a little bit of chop. But this is a popper morning, I think.
One thing nice about this lure that early in the day like this, we're moving along really quick, just almost using the same retrieve that you would use for a stick bait like a Zara spook. You don't have to sit there and let it stew for a long time. Right now, when we're gonna run and jump on a bunch of different spots, the fish that are active, you're gonna see them immediately. It doesn't take long. The fish that are actively up hunting on the top of this reef, they'll find you pretty quick. Look at that, there's one.
Yep, he's coming. Oh, you got him?
Got him.
Got him. Yeah. All right.
See, that one there was a little bit different. He was a little bit, you had to let him have it a second or two. They came boiling up like that last fish that you had. It might be, oh, look at that, he's got a buddy with him.
Does he?
Oh, 3 of them.
Oh.
3 of them will swimming along with him.
See if his buddies are interested in this one.
Here we go. One of the drawbacks to midsummer fishing is bugs. But these guys here sort of make it worthwhile. They really do. It doesn't bother me. At least these guys here aren't biting. They're just gnats, you know. You got that pliers. Oh, here, I got it right here.
Oh, it's like a snowstorm in July out here.
Yeah. There we go.
One key to fishing poppers is picking the right type of areas or fish habitat to fish the lure in. Typically, you want something that's fairly open on top. That is, we're fishing a rock reef here for smallmouth bass, but say for largemouths, you could fish the inside weed line or the very end of a point where it just breaks away, where you have an open area where the fish are actively feeding. They'll come up on those open places and that edge, and will really strike that topwater bait very well.
You know, actually, there's a lot of different poppers on the market today. Here's just a few of them that'll work for different conditions that you might be faced with on a lot of different lakes across the country. Mr. Quinn, I think we should move to a new zone here. These bugs are a little bit too much for me.
Chuggers are one of the oldest and most effective topwater lures ever designed. A wide variety of manufacturers make chuggers and each have their own unique sound. The key to chugging bass is tuning into the attitude of the fish. Sometimes a quick, non-stop popping will produce a lot of strikes. At other times, you may have to let the bait sit a long time to call up a neutral fish. It's vitally important to experiment with retrieve speeds. One important point to remember is that the best topwater bites often coincide with large bug hatches as we have today. Like all bass, smallmouth are very opportunistic feeders that key in on the most abundant forage available.
There's some biggies that live in this area, Mr. Quinn.
All right.
Oop, there's one.
There. Yep. Oh, nice one.
He's right underneath it.
Right there.
See the... Oh, got him.
All right. Nice.
Here we go.
Ooh, we got a big brown bass.
You know, people say different things about the types of rods that are really appropriate for fishing these baits. I personally like a shorter rod so you can twitch the bait and pop it. It's a little bit easier. But I have the tendency to prefer a real stiff rod. It seems like I have better hooking percentage. I know that some people say they prefer to use a softer action rod because once you hook the fish, you have more, you'll land the fish a lot easier and they won't tear out. But I guess it's sort of personal preference and what you get used to and what works for you.
Got him. Got another one. Yeah, he had a buddy.
Yeah, did he?
You know, that's the thing about these fish, too. When you get them on topwater, often you're pulling a whole school of fish. And that's the best thing to do is throw right back in where one guy's hooked a fish, you oftentimes can get a second one. Double, sometimes even a third.
Treble hook him. Get her back in the water.
Because these are sharp little trebles. And if you get one in your finger and a smallmouth takes off on you, you're in a hurting way. There you go. You got them. Boy, they're chunky fish, aren't they?
If you're fishing weeds for largemouth, with poppers. It seems like your best type of habitat is areas where it's really spartan. You have a couple of real sparse weeds maybe mixed in with rocks, or at least if you're fishing over heavier weeds, you have some amount of room above the weeds and the surface so the fish can key in on the bait. Seems like the best type of area where this bait really works at its best. Oop, there's one.
Oh, all right.
There we go. Oh, look at that. There's a big one. That's a big one there. Oh. Oh.
Yeah, right. Big fish.
Big boy. This guy here is pretty docile for being as sporty as he is. I don't know why. Get the way I got him hooked.
Yeah.
Oh. Look at that. Look at the size of that one there, Mr. Quinn.
All right. Great fish.
Boy, ooh, the bugs are sort of tough. Boy, I tell you, midsummer, early in the morning, topwater fishing, you really can't beat it, boy. It's not even, work hasn't even started yet. We're ready to go back to work, and we've already caught, what, 5 or 6 smallmouths up to this size. It's really fun fishing, boy.
If you would like to get a copy of In-Fisherman's new bass guide, call toll-free 1-888-6-IN-FISH. This one-of-a-kind publication highlights the newest innovations, presentation techniques, and equipment in bass angling today. Next on the In-Fisherman, Topwater Terror, the Musky.
If you haven't been feeding them surface lures, you haven't been catching all the muskies you could.
Nice fish.
No matter what kind of fish you're heading out for, don't forget the Berkeley Power Bait. Because only Power Bait delivers Berkeley's exclusive scent and flavor formula, proven to get you more strikes and more fish. Now, for any other brand to make that claim, well, let's just say they're stretching it.
Now there's a fish finder that goes fishing anytime, any place, any way you like to fish. Bottom Line Fishing Buddy. Portable. Runs on 3C batteries. It's a side finder and a depth finder. It's the best fishing buddy you'll ever have. Want to have some fishing fun indoors? Get Bottom Line's new interactive CD-ROM. Educational, entertaining, and just $5. Call 1-800-360-FISH.
The world's toughest spin cast reel from Zepco.
Saturday morning on TNN.
We're on it.
Oh,
we got it. He got it.
Fishing pro Shaw Grigsby shows you the best way to angle anywhere.
And we have saltwater and freshwater fishing in each show.
Where to find the greatest places to fish.
Anytime you have an indentation, it makes good ambush.
And how to use expert techniques.
And the lighter you make a bait, the easier it comes through trash and cover.
One more cast with Shaw Grigsby, Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 Central on TNN Outdoors.
This segment brought to you by the Walleye Angler Catalog with 10,000 products for walleye fishing. Call 1-800-6-WALLEYE now for your free catalog.
When it comes to topwater fishing, few experiences can get the heart pumping like getting up close and personal with the elusive muskie. What more could you ask for? Large fish, shallow water, and live strikes on top. Let's join veteran muskie commandos Dan Zura and Dan Craven with a crash course on topping muskie.
There's one. Got one.
It's really amazing, Dan. A lot of people don't think that there's muskies on rocks.
Oh, they're right up on the rocks. His belly must have been rubbing on that rock.
Just like surface baits, a lot of people don't put a lot of pressure on these rock fish, nor do they use surface baits. I'll pull her off into deeper water here.
Oh, he's strong. There. Boy, he doesn't want to come up. He wants to go right back to the rock.
Still a little green, Dan.
Still
I'll
a little
get the
green.
cradle.
There he goes.
Oh, that's quick, an early release. That's all right. Save us the trouble of unhooking them.
Yeah, don't have to get your hands slimy.
The one thing to remember about surface baits, the misconception is that they only work during flat, calm conditions during midsummer. But in actuality, surface baits will produce anywhere from a warming trend in spring all the way to a warming trend in fall, and they're overlooked and very productive, especially on pressured fish.
Oh, there's some white water.
Hit right at the side of the boat. Pretty good one, too. That's a pretty good one, Dan.
All right. What do you need me to do?
Just hang on. That's all I'm doing here. Here he is. Wow.
There's some white water. You want me to cradle him?
I'll tell you, Dan, for an old man like me, yeah, we're going to cradle this one.
Okay, let me get
One
this.
thing about musky fishing with surface baits, it's absolutely heart-stopping excitement. Oh, you'll notice we're using a cradle on these fish, and it really helps handle the fish, and you can unhook the fish really without removing it from the water. That's what we're going to attempt to do here.
Supports the fish all along the length of its body, and he's unhooked. He is unhooked, Dan.
Okay.
There you
We'll
go.
just take a quick peek at this fish, and then I'll
beautiful.
let her go. One thing I'd like to mention, folks, there was a couple of boats fishing the same bar. We came right behind them with surface baits and caught this muskie. Let that be a lesson. Don't be afraid to fish behind anybody when you're using surface baits. Gonna put her back.
Want it in here or no?
No, we'll just put her down.
All right.
Okay, ready?
Nice fish. Oh, all right. Got him.
Oh, acrobat. He looks like he's hooked good.
There he is. Yeah, he ate it. Mr. Fatso, isn't he? Mr. Fatso. Nice little fish. Right up in the waves. Got a little hair in his mouth still, too.
Topwater musky lures come in a wide variety of designs. There are buzzers, creepers, stick baits, twitch baits, and poppers. Now, each has a time and a place where it's the most productive choice. Over the past few years, Magnum stick baits, or large wooden versions of the Zara Spook, have been producing numbers of big muskies. Worked with a quick, walking the dog action, these baits are great for covering large weed or rock flats. Buzzers are the largest family of musky baits. Some baits produce subtle sound, while others are extremely noisy. The art of topping muskie is to match the lure to the activity level of the fish. Not an easy task with an often contrary beast. Buzzers like we're using have a lot of attracting and triggering qualities and can be fished rapidly, enabling you to effectively cover water quickly, often a real key to locating a biter. Wobblers are fished very slowly. They are a great choice when you know where a fish is located and it won't bite a faster moving bait. These slow-moving, noisy, creeping baits also work very well at night. Now, as a whole, creepers are the most productive when fished in a specific high percentage spot. Most shallow lip diving crankbaits can function as highly effective twitch baits. These lures can be pulled and twitched subsurface or cranked very slowly with the tail just breaking the surface. Traditionally, topwater baits are used at dusk and dawn on calm, warm, sunny days. But don't limit yourself. Over the past few years, some muskie hunters have been breaking tradition by fishing topwater in big wind and in water temperatures in the low 50s.
There we go.
Stay tuned. More whitewater action with muskies on top.
Oh, he rolled on it twice.
It dances through the water, a lovely ballerina. Fluttering. Twirling. Sparkling. Beckoning. The Vibrax minnow spin. It's beautiful.
I fish for a living. So I make my living catching fish, and I make my living competing in tournaments. It's a metal reel. Everything in there is locked together to where it can't move. All the gears are meshed perfectly, and it makes it where it's totally smooth. And it doesn't matter if you put 15-pound line on this and you lock the drag down and you want to really horse a fish out of cover, or you put a little 6-pound test and you're down there catching bonefish. Now we can feel what's going on in the water as opposed to what's going on in our reel.
Something in this tackle box has got to work.
Hey, I think I'll try this. That looks like a good spot over there.
Hey, don't let luck or feelings determine your fishing success. Now you can catch fish like these. Bass, walleye, musky, northern pike. Just look at that crappie, catfish. I'm so confident that In-Fisherman magazine will teach you how to catch more fish more often that I'm going to send you an issue free. That's right, free. Just call toll-free 1-888-2-IN-FISH. If you like what you read, I'll send you 6 more big issues at a special introductory price of only $9.99. Plus, I'll send absolutely free the Secret Systems book that unlocks the formula to catching fish consistently. Hey, I'll even throw in the In-Fisherman decal. Call now, 1-888-2-IN-FISH to get your free issue. Hey, don't depend on luck. Use these and you can catch fish like this.
Aren't they giants?
Oh, there he is. He missed it. He missed it.
These fish are as patternable as bass. They get on the spot The fish we've taken have been on the points, right up in the very tip tops of the reefs, right where they should be if they're in a real active feeding mood. And the wind helps that happen.
A lot of surface bait musky anglers prefer a little bit longer rod. You know, instead of the 6-footers, they're going to 7.5 footers, and they're using a level wind bait casting reel with some of the new super lines. They seem to work well because they have no stretch, and you can get hookups on your longer casts, you know, your 75-footers. Seems to be quite effective.
You know, Dan, something about these heavily fished waters, muskies, they don't seem to mind surface baits, where it seems on some of these waters where they're following the bucktails, they're following the jerk baits. Surface baits will still produce, and I think most of it just because they're not fished that much.
I think a lot of people have the impression that these surface baits are only effective under low light conditions, say morning and evening, and granted they are effective then, but don't ever overlook the effectiveness of surface baits during midday. On clear water, dark water, doesn't seem to matter. Just give them a try. Not a lot of people are using them, so you've got one up on a lot of folks who just haven't been tuned into this surface water bite. One of the hardest things to do when you're fishing a surface bait, I don't care if it's bass or muskies, when you see the fish strike, you have a tendency to set the hook, and that can be a big mistake. It really can. You've almost got to wait until you feel a little bit of the weight of the fish before you drive the hook home, or you're going to be missing a lot of fish. It takes practice. Dan, you fish surface baits a lot. How far can you call up a muskie?
Most of my muskies, Dan, come out of 10 feet and shallower in rocks, weeds, and wood. It's a good bait to call them up, but generally 10 or 12 feet and less.
Of course, the major consideration there is water clarity. The clearer the water, the deeper these fish could be. And under real dark water conditions or low light or at night, these fish can be right up in a couple of feet of water.
Just took a swat, you bet.
Oh, acrobat. That's a pretty good one, Dan. Wow.
There's some white water.
Good one. You got him? Hang on, all I'm doing here he is. Oh, he rolled on it twice.
Oh, it's decent. It's not... There he is. Yeah, I think so. I think I ought to be able to lead him to the cradle here now, Dan. Not quite done yet. I'll let him run and I'll bring him back. Okay. There we go. Piece of cake. Okay.
Got it, Dan?
All right. Got it.
Whoa, take a look at this fish, folks.
I got the cradle.
Well, Musky's eyes are positioned on top of its head, and the fish is programmed to feed up. This fish feeds effectively up towards the surface. And you know one thing? If you haven't been feeding them surface lures, you haven't been catching all the muskies you could.
Nice fish. Let's get him back in the water.
Stay tuned. The In-Fisherman will be right back.
Wow, fishing never felt like this before.
Berkley Fireline. Feel the strength. Feel the strike. Feel the fire. In low visibility smoke. Or new fluorescent flame green.
Lund, inspired by the legends, the tournaments, the industry's best. Professional fishermen like Al Lindner and Gary Roach spend more than 200 days a season fishing, and they know the needs of anglers. Their ideas are incorporated into the new 1900 Pro V LE and Pro V Mr. Walleye.
And we put them all together, and it turned out fantastic.
I can fish any kind of fish, anywhere I want, any way I want. And in my business, that's really important.
Lund, a tradition of quality.
Man, I sure wouldn't want to be you, Harold.
Minn Kota doesn't know the meaning of quit.
Got it, Dan?
Okay.
There we go. As we've shown you, picking the right days and conditions is the key to be a real successful topwater angler. Over the last 20 years, In-Fisherman magazine has done numerous articles on topwater fishing for all different species of fish. They're unbelievable, effective fish-catching machines. From all of us at the In-Fisherman, we'll see you on the water.
On next week's In-Fisherman, join the In-Fisherman staff as they explore some of the hottest fisheries in North America for catfish, walleye, and smallmouth bass. If you would like to subscribe to In-Fisherman magazine, call us at 1-888-9-IN-FISH.
This is TNN Outdoors.